This is Louis XVI. He became King of France in 1765. Louis is not a very qualified king. He is very shy, but does have nice calves. He has never been taught to have social skills required to rule a country. He is very indecisive and a poor leader. This is the lovely Marie Antoinette. She's the Archduchess of the Habsburg. Mary and Louis are going to have an arranged marriage. This marriage is seen a little awkward by everyone involved, but it happens nonetheless. The two awkward teenagers get married and start their life ruling France. The main job of the Queen of France is to produce a male heir to Louis's throne. Unfortunately for Louis and Marie, this does not happen. Not only is it physically hard for them to have children, but Louis does not really buy into the idea of marriage from the get-go. Now warning, the scene is graphic, so meanwhile, please enjoy a picture of a unicorn. France is not in the best economic state. France has pumped huge amounts of money into the 7 Years' War with Britain and then into the American Revolution. While France spends this money, their own peasants are starving. France has a series of bad harvests and harsh winters that drive the price of bread through the roof. Louis decides that he has to try something to solve the problems. To try to solve France's problems, Louis called the States General. This is France's representative body. Louis hired an economic advisor named Jacques Necker. Jacques saw the issues with the taxation system in France. In fact, the reason that Louis called the States General was because he wanted to discuss Necker's idea of taxing the first two estates. This idea was shot down and Necker was fired. France is divided into three social groups called estates. The first estate is the royalty and clergy. The second estate is the land-owning nobles. The third estate makes up 97% of the population and is mostly poor peasants. In the States General, each estate gets one vote, making it very easy for the first two estates to dominate the third and always get a two-thirds majority to pass laws that benefit them and hurt the third estate in doing so. The third estate is the most heavily taxed and also the poorest. The first two estates pay little and taxes. The third estate continued to get frustrated with the first two. They returned one day to the National Assembly to find the doors locked. They went to the local tennis court and took the tennis court oath. They vowed to continue meeting until a new constitution was created for France. This is the first step in the revolution over Louis in France. While Louis still lives comfortably in Versailles, things for the third estate are getting awful. The price of bread soars. It takes almost a month's wages to buy a loaf of bread. The people turn against the government that spends money on ridiculous and expensive things. Marie spends money on ridiculous hairstyles and earns the nickname Madame Deficit. She is hated by the peasants. After the destruction of Bastille, women take things a step further by coming to Versailles outside of Paris. They break into the palace and basically trash the place. Marie and Louis are not harmed, but the peasants do force them to go back to Paris. They basically place them under house arrest in Paris. From this spot, Louis and Marie, with their children, will try to escape to Austria, Marie's home country. This escape will not be successful, and they are forced back to Paris to a less than happy third estate. Things will not end well for Louis and Marie. Louis will eventually be sent to the guillotine. His insensitivity towards the third estate has cost him and his family. His reign in France is now over. Marie will die after Louis. She fights a longer legal battle and is imprisoned for a longer time. Before she dies, her hair, the symbol of everything that mattered to her in life, is cut. Marie, like her husband, will be executed. From this point on, chaos ensues. After Louis is executed, a new government and committee of public safety are set up under Maximilian Robespierre. This committee starts with good intentions, but eventually turns on the third estate. People are guillotined constantly. Anything that does not directly help the rebellion go in the direction Robespierre wants is stamped out and those behind are executed. Life in France turns into total chaos.